Me?
Usually Connie yells at me. Where'd Connie go? She gone again?
You're probably trying to figure out what's going on with the voice. She can't get,
Oh, let's wait a couple of minutes.
she may be logging back in again.
Yeah, she logged out once, so let's give her a couple of minutes there. Oh, Connie, oh, there's Betsy. Hi, Betsy. Can you hear us, Betsy? Betsy, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Betsy and Connie are both shows that they're on.
Oh,
But,
Connie shows up?
yeah, if you go to the bottom of the list and look, participants.
All right, I'll have to put that back up. Oops, let me get that out of the way there. On the screen in the way. All right, so we'll get going. It's 11:02. Call the meeting to order. Y'all received the minutes. I sent them in the email for 12/10, our last meeting in 2020. So that was a long one. Betsy did a long one this time, 17 pages. I'm sure y'all read it. Anyway, so of course I sent you the minutes, the agenda, the financial report, stat counter, and some other things with the thing. So with the minutes, we usually dispense with the minutes, and I ask for approval for our motion and approval to dispense with minutes. Somebody do that, please.
I'll make a motion to not approve them.
Okay,
I'll second it.
second by Stanley. Okay, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All right. Connie, are you live over there, Connie, for the financial report? And by the way, I changed the numbers. I had wrong numbers in there on this agenda. So you know, Connie, that,
Connie still doesn't have any sound.
oh, she doesn't?
No, that's,
No audio.
yeah, Bob and her been talking back and forth.
Oh, okay.
So
All
just
right.
got hung up. She dropped out and went to another browser to get in and still didn't get any sound. So
Wow.
something on her end is messed up.
All right. Well, I'll try to fill in here for her. Let me go to, let's see here, financial summary.
Is your volume turned up, Connie? I had that problem.
I'm gonna go back to the monthly sheet here. Okay. We ended 2020. Again, you know, on the spreadsheet on the left, under the red area is the debits, and on the right is the credits or income dues that come in. So each month, all the different expenses are in there. And when you look for the tabulation of total dues and donations, that comes from the donations tab. It automatically populates that number. And then you can see there's other things like donations that we get from groups or reimbursement for different things. So just scrolling down through the months. And
Can you hear me now?
hey,
Yeah.
there you are. Okay.
It's gotta be these damn things that messes up. I don't know.
Okay. Do you want to take
Right.
over on the financial report?
Well, you have it right there. Is that the December one? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so that is our balance right now. That's also including the 2 checks that I'm going to deposit later on this afternoon that I received yesterday after I made the other deposit. So I've deposited 60, I guess it was yesterday or day before. I have $50 more to deposit in checks. And I deposited 100 and I want to say it was 103 or $4 that we had from Stripe. That still hasn't posted at the bank, but it's all added on there.
Problem with Stripe is you always wait 3 days, and if you do it on a Thursday, Friday, it ends up not showing up till the next week because they don't work on a weekend, so.
They don't seem to work any day.
Connie and I are getting really frustrated with them. We'll talk about that as we go down the agenda. So that 8862 on the very bottom is the end of the year number. And if we go to the audit sheet, and Stanley, I know this was your question. You see the numbers match here on the audit sheet. You see on the top, it has to be signed by Charlie, Rodney, Stanley, and Brian after we approve Brian as trustee today. When we get to that part, they all have to sign it. That's what it's for, names. This was out of date. We got it up to date. And then I know you're seeing that. See, I click in there. I don't know if you can see, Stanley. I click in there and the cursor's blinking.
Right.
You know, I think that's the way you got to sign it. But I was hoping Charlie would be here to tell you, because just to be sure, I don't know. Let me see if I type my name. Yeah, it goes in there. So, and when you do it for the trustees, Rodney, Charlie, Stanley, and Brian, make sure you date it, please. Put the date in after your name.
I have no problem typing my name in there. I just wondered if you want a live signature.
Yeah, I mean, you can use different fonts like script or something like that if you want it. Now, Charlie knows how to do a live signature, but I don't, as far as that. And then you just transplant it in there. So he isn't here to tell us.
I tried transplanting one and I never could get it to go. But if all we need is just typed in signature, I have no problem.
Yeah, you know, as everybody I think pretty much knows nowadays, everything is electronic signatures and it's legally acceptable. So, you know, even if it's a regular font, it doesn't look like a written signature, it's acceptable. So, all right, let me go back to stop sharing on that one. Go back to the agenda. Okay. So as Connie said, that it's a match, and you saw it on the spreadsheet, it's a match for the end of 2020, and we're going to need those 4 signatures for the audit. It's a once a year audit in our bylaws now. We used to do it.
John, I've got a question.
Yeah.
Also, there's an RCB statement, and it looks like it's asking for the end of year bank statement. And at the bottom of that, it has 3 trustee boxes to fill out. Do we need to see that before we approve it too, or are we even have anything to do with that?
Connie did send me the RCB bank thing, and I didn't forward it to you guys, but yes, you should. You know, part of the audit is to, Stanley, I'm sure you did these, but at least when I was involved with the executive board, the trustees would sit down. Of course, that's when we were all in one location, not like us, but would sit down and they would look over the expenses and the credits. And if they had any questions, the treasurer was always there to say, yes, that's a valid, whatever, like Connie, for an expense, a receipt, or what does this line mean when you have this in here? Do we have a receipt for that? If anything looks questionable, that's the job of the audit committee to look at that and say, what does that mean? Do you have a receipt for that? If you think it's something that's not legitimate, I know everything's legitimate. I know Connie and I work together on a lot of that with receipts and costs and expense. So, but that's the idea behind the audit committee. And yes, I'll send you the bank statement. You will see sometimes, like when Connie just said, she puts deposits in at different times. Sometimes it won't match exactly with the spreadsheet and Stripe or the bank account, you know, different dates or whatever. And you got to understand that it's when she goes and works on the spreadsheet and she enters those items, it could be a different date. All right, just so you understand that. So that's not confusing to you. But that generally, and Charlie's supposed to be the chairperson of that committee, and he's really supposed to. The idea is again have like his own Zoom meeting with you guys, go over it, go over the bank statement, look at the individual items. If you have any questions, ask them. If you're uncomfortable in signing it until you have answers, you don't sign it until you have the answers. That's the idea of the audit committee. All right, Rodney, does that explain it?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I'll make sure, I gotta write myself a note. I'll make sure that I send that. Connie, did you send that to everybody or just to me, that bank statement from RCB?
I always send it to you.
Okay. I'll make sure it gets out to you trustees.
Yeah, you could just paste it on that blank part there, John,
Yeah.
and that way we could just all just look at it at the same time.
Okay, that's good.
You know, I didn't send it like, I don't know, for all the months. I just send it from, I want to say what it's November, December.
Yeah,
That's what all I send. Is that all
Yeah,
that we need?
What it says on there, Connie, is insert picture or image from file showing this end of year balance. That's all it's
Oh,
asking for.
okay.
End of year balance.
So that's good.
Because I just-
That's on her thing. And actually, when Connie sent it to me, what I did was highlight the last transaction in December. I think it was December 18th, and that was the 8862.58, which matches her spreadsheet. So just so you know that. Okay, so can I have a motion to accept Connie's financial report, please?
Make a
to
motion.
accept it.
All right, Stanley, second.
Second,
All right, all in favor? Aye.
aye.
Aye, 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 aye. Okay. I usually say aye, aye, aye. All right, summary of the donations. I always do this, keep you up to date. As of 1/16/2021 on our fundraising drive, we have 81 total contributions. The total amount of contributions so far, and that's not what Connie just said, the other checks and stuff will be coming in next month. You'll see that. Is 2963.51. The breakdown of that is how many are Stripe, 2212.76. For PayPal, we're going to talk about PayPal in a minute. 56.75, and then at my last tally on checks, which update was 12 at 694. So if you had to carry over 7,500 plus the 2963 total for all our donations, that means we have raised so far $10,463.51. Okay, and you see that on our formal website, on the homepage and on the fundraising page, that total. And again, you know, I just think we're fortunate to have the amount of people that give us gold level support. We got another one today, and silver level support. Those people are phenomenal in their support.
John, just to throw something in there, my local has been having Zoom meetings on the executive board.
Yeah.
I have asked for to be included at the next Zoom meeting to request a donation.
Okay.
I'm not saying I get in, they will accept my,
Hey,
you know, so.
yeah, if you get it, you get it. And last year you got, as I just showed on the spreadsheet there, you got a 750. So whatever they give is good, Stan. And we
Well, you know,
appreciate it.
You know how it is with COVID. It's hard to get
Oh,
anything
yeah.
started.
Yeah. When I used to ask for one when I ran the local retiree chapter, it was like pulling teeth, you know. Geez, I was asking to cut the right arm off.
Well, I don't think I have a problem getting the money after I get into the meeting. The
Oh.
problem is getting to the meeting.
Yeah, yeah. Well, they should include you, hopefully.
Well, hopefully they will.
Yeah. Okay, under old business, that's in the minutes and, you know, we did the tentative budget, Benestar update, the three major initiatives are Benestar and the membership growth, and we talked about that. And the marketing plan, and I showed you the marketing document, all that stuff. And the possibilities here in this fax area of our growth once we get this marketing campaign kicked off. And then meetings and other business that we need to take care of. And I'll give you, well, we talked about the audit, but I'll give you the name change stuff down below. And then it was proposed that we put Brian in as a trustee, which we're going to talk about here in a minute. And then disputes with Stripe, and we're going to talk about Stripe and PayPal in a minute too. Number of issues there. So under new business, the bylaws have been revised for the eighth revision on 114. And of course, that was to allow, after the last meeting, to allow for expansion of our board. And I'm gonna have to, I hate to tell you this, but I'm gonna have to put it up on DocuSign and everybody's gonna have to sign it again because I don't have all the signatures on one form and I need to do that so that it's official and I can post it on our formal website, blah, blah. And with all the changes, and you'll see when you look at it, matter of fact, let me bring that up because it's important for you to know what's new in there. Let's see. Here we are, right there. Okay. Go up to the top. This is the latest revision, 1/14/2021. Okay, eighth revision. And as we scroll down through the articles, let me say something about that EIN. You know, we're in the process of doing the name change. We did with Kansas. We're doing it with IRS. We haven't got the letter of approval back yet. That may change, just so everybody knows. I'm hoping that. A name change is not supposed to change the EIN, but the bank thinks that they're going to tell us a different EIN, which means we got to do some other finagling with other organizations and make sure they get the right EIN number. I hope they keep it the same, just so you know that. As we go down, Article 3, 4, 5, 6, I know we're going to get to a section where there's updates there, folks. Board of Directors. Let's go down here. There we go. Okay. The staggering of elections. If people don't remember this, so that we don't have everybody up for election at the same time, we chose to stagger the elections. So in October of this year, actually we were supposed to have an election October 2020, but because we were changing it and staggering it, pushed it out 1 year. So in October, my position, president, treasurer, and 2 trustees, because we'll have 4 once we approve Brian, will be in October. Those elections will be in October 2021. October 2022 will be the vice president, the secretary, and 2 trustees. And these are 3-year terms once you're elected. Now, in the past, we've never had anybody else run, and we just virtually put everybody in, you know. So under item number 2 in this section, under officers, duties, and terms, this is the expansion clause. The JERB's Board of Directors has approved the expansion of number of executive board members to be able to add additional trustees as the need arises. All additional trustees have to be approved by a majority vote of the current executive board members. Okay, that's the new. Hang on if I can put this in. The stipend that you guys all approved for me is in there, right there, 11/19/20. Eventually I'll turn these all back to black, but I just wanted to show you. The audit thing that we passed that way back, I could change that already to black back in 7/12/2019. But every time we do one of these, we have to do a revision, then we all have to sign it again. And then all the board members will sign. So I'll put this on DocuSign again. Sorry about it, but I got to do that. And we'll get all the signatures again, okay? Just so you know that. All right. Any questions on that? It'll be coming to you. Back down here. So that's the revision. Now, next order of business is Brian. We all, I think, pretty much in agreement. Brian's been a great addition to our board and taking on responsibilities with his blog, with his benefits advocate position, and other things that he helps us with. Always there to volunteer. We put the expansion clause in there before we were going to take this vote. So if somebody would make a nomination to add Brian as the fourth trustee to our board of directors, please. Okay, Rodney. And second?
Second.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Of course, I was supposed to say in between, is there any discussion? So is there any nays? Brian, don't raise your hand for crying out loud. We just got you on. Brian objects. All right. No, it's unanimous. Okay, Brian, congratulations. You're on board, brother, as a trustee of the board.
Thank you.
All right. We talked about the financial audit, so we can skip this. Okay. Putting PayPal back in service. Okay. Connie could tell you and I could tell you, we could go on and on about Stripe. When we're trying to do something on Stripe, we got to go to about 5 different pages to get all the information. It's not set up like a normal bank account where you get all information, names, dates, order numbers, amounts. You got to flip all over the place to find things, and it's driving us crazy. And the way they transfer and the way they do the spreadsheet, online page or spreadsheet, the date might be after another date, you know, so it's not like in chronological order all the time. And Connie is, you know, and I've done it too. Try to figure it out, and when they're giving us payouts and how to do payouts and all that stuff. It's just driving us crazy. So I said, Connie wanted me to, and I was already thinking it anyway. Can we put PayPal back in service? Now, the reason we dropped PayPal initially, when I was working with Matt from GoDaddy, if you remember, when we were getting all the bugs out of our new website, Matt even tried to get PayPal to work and couldn't get it to work. And so we just got frustrated and said, we'll go to Stripe. You know, we'll use Stripe. But we are not liking it. Not one, right, Connie? Not one single bit. And it's, yeah, too hard to use. That's right, thumbs down. So I went back in to our setup on our website. I went back in and activated PayPal again. Then I went in and tried to do a transaction myself. You know, I just did a $12 a year helper transaction, and it wouldn't go. And it kept saying that this is invalid because you're the seller, because my name's on the account. Mine and Connie's is on the account. So it wouldn't let me put it through. But then we got a donation from Gary Poland, actually, and it went through. So I said, okay. It's not gonna work for me because I'm on the account and it says I'm trying to send something to myself as the owner or the account owner or account manager and send myself a donation. It won't let me do that. That seems weird to me, and I still haven't gotten a hold of PayPal to figure that out, but I should be able to. So shouldn't Connie, even if her name's on the account. So I have to figure that piece out. But as far as our members, when they go through our fundraising page, you know how those circles are there with gold, silver, and all that, and they pick which one they want to donate, and then they go to checkout. They're going to get two choices. We're not going to drop PayPal yet until we're absolutely sure PayPal is working, or we're not going to drop Stripe yet, I should say. I'm sorry. Until we know absolutely that PayPal is working. So they have a choice between PayPal and Stripe right now. Eventually, we hope to just get rid of Stripe. That's the bottom line. Okay, just so you know that, and believe me, we've faced a lot of frustrations with them, a lot of it. You know, it's just not that easy to use. And some people rave about it. I don't know why they rave about it. It's awful to try to follow what they're doing.
I know, but even when we had some disputes,
Yeah.
then Stripe would post a message saying that there was a dispute,
Yeah.
and then it showed a withdrawal. Then it would show a reimbursement.
Yeah.
Two or three different times for the same amount for the same person. And
Yeah.
so it was seriously so confusing, because I told John, well, there's like 2 for this lady, 2 for this guy, 2 for this guy, sometimes 3, and they may have filed it, say, in October. So we get this thing saying that there was a dispute,
Yeah.
but it doesn't get fixed until the end of December. There was one that didn't get fixed till about, way down sometime in the middle of December. So
Yep.
it's really, really hard to keep a book that way, you know. And then they kept sending that. Well, how many times did they file for a dispute or fraud charges or whatever, you know, the person was filing for? So
And-
it was a clusterfuck, big
Yeah.
time.
You know, and when they disputed the thing, and the whole reason they disputed was it said GED on there on their bank statement, which one person, as I told you one time before, said it was like Global Egg something company or something like that. And I said, oh my God. So we changed that so people wouldn't think somebody was scamming their bank account. We changed it to like GE retiree donation or something. And then it seemed straightened out. But like Connie said, and you know, when they give us the money back, they give us the original donation and the fee back. And then you total those two together. I'll just use as an example, $25, and they give us the $15 charge, the fee back. So, you know, it's like that dollar amount, they don't mark that as like a payout for Connie to look at it as like a payout to transfer to our account. They just put it back in our account. And we don't even, you know that they've done that. You know what I'm saying?
Well, just like with 103, there were four donations. And I'm like, these don't total to $103. And that's how we finally figured it out.
Yeah.
So I added them up and I said, John, there's something really wrong here, because these only total up to like maybe 70 or 60, whatever. So they're not totaling up. So there's something really wrong, because they're saying we have I guess it was $106.
Yeah.
But I only have like $70. So where's this other money come from? Then I had to go through the other tabs. And then I found out, that's where I found that there was the disputes, and some were charged back. And then like, so if you donate $24, they charge you a fee of $1. But then when we got the money back,
Yeah.
they didn't keep the $1. They gave us a whole $24 plus the $15 back. And anyway, it's been a flipping mess.
Yeah, that was the nice part of it, folks, that they didn't take the feedback out once they gave us the money back. I said, good, we
That
got
was
money on
a
them.
mess, though.
Well, are there other programs besides Stripe? I mean, just about anybody online has, you can either use PayPal or your credit card.
Yeah,
And so are there any other programs, and what are the other people doing as far as donating through their credit card.
Yeah, there is other ones. I'm thinking like, I know I'm saying the wrong name, but something like Vimeo or something like that.
Venmo.
There is other ones out there, Rodney, but
Yeah.
if PayPal works this time, we both like, Connie and I both like the setup on PayPal and the information it gives us. It's much more fluid, chronological, not all this back and forth crap. I'm hoping we don't have any more disputes, period, but and we made sure that, I made sure, I should say, in the PayPal setup that when they get their bank statement, it's gonna say retiree donation, so that there's not gonna be a question, who the hell's taking my money? And
Yeah,
you
the
know
other
what?
problem, go
Go
ahead.
ahead, Kevin. Go ahead.
The other problem we have with Stripe is that I've had 4 or 5 different people that I've had to reach out to because it's a recurring for them. And I don't know if it's a Stripe issue or if the people didn't notice it, didn't uncheck mark it or whatever. I don't know if it's just a standard procedure that it's, already check marked for them and you have to uncheck it so you don't get recurring. Well, I could about guarantee there's not gonna be too many people that's gonna be wanting to give $12 a month. So I've had to reach out to these people to confirm if this is really what they're wanting to do, because I don't feel comfortable taking $12 a month from somebody and they're not aware of it. I want to make sure that they want to give us the $12 a month or 24 or whatever it is,
Right.
so it's just automatic. And yeah, there's been 2 people so far. They're like, no, which, I can't blame them.
Yeah, no, that's $144 a year, and some of these retirees that know can't.
May want to look at mine this morning because I made a donation, but I
Oh,
certainly didn't
120 a
ask to-
month, Rodney, I approved it.
Okay. Well, it took it right straight out of my account, so I know you're getting it, or somebody is.
Yeah. No, I'm pretty sure it's a one time. You did the one time. I can look.
But it doesn't, but on my end, when I'm looking at them, they all say recurring.
I know. That's the other
They
thing.
all- So I don't know if they're picking that or if it's just a standard thing with Stripe. And
It
so
is.
that's why I say I have to reach out to, when I say the second and definitely the third, by third time, I'm realizing, okay, this person already gave, I know. So I look back at the spreadsheet and then I send them an email and let them know.
Yeah.
you-
Yeah,
you
we had
need
one
to
we were
do your
just
job.
dealing with, like Connie was saying, and she didn't want it. And I went in, and again, with Stripe, it's not that easy. You got to go back into our website under a plugin we have called WooCommerce, is like an interactive plugin between whether it's PayPal or Stripe and our website. And so I went in and canceled that woman's $12 a month because she told Connie she didn't want to do that. So, but I don't know if that's still has taken effect yet, Connie, to be honest. So we have to watch that one.
I'll
But that's
I'll have an eye on it.
yeah, that's the problem with Stripe, folks. And I know we went on about it, but it's good to know. Hopefully PayPal will work out. I got to find out why I can't give or Connie can't give through that. That don't make sense. But other than that, it should be good. One went through already, so it's telling me that it's working between our website when they check out and PayPal. It's working because we already got one. So, but there are 2 choices now: PayPal and Stripe. Okay, next thing on the agenda is Benestar. I got nothing from them. We had a meeting with them on 1/6 about marketing, plan rates, all that. They said, we will get back to you within a week. I've got nothing from them. I sent them another email this morning. I said, what's going on, you guys? I want to give the board an update here. We're almost towards the end of January, and we're talking about kicking this thing off on March 1st. Where's the updates? Where's the plan and rates? Where's the agreement? Where's the marketing plan? I assigned them. They didn't respond, so I assigned them certain things on the marketing plan. I said, what's going on here? So hopefully, if I hear anything, I'll forward it to you guys. But I'm going to get on them now because I know they think we stalled them for a long time. And I don't think they're purposely stalling us. I don't know what's going on. So I don't want to jump to conclusions here. But I'm going to find out what's going on with them. we want those rates. We want that web page up, the web page on our formal website. And we got to set a webinar date for the members. And then we got to start the marketing plan. We got to get moving. I mean, that's going to bring our revenue in. If everybody remembers, or maybe you don't, I don't think you guys do know this. Connie and Brian were on the meeting with me. We will get, and it's all legal now. They tell me that this is all legal with the lawyers. We will get $10 a month, was it, Connie? $10 a month, I believe.
I think it was 10.
Yeah, $10 a month, could be up to 15, but they're saying it'll probably be around 10 for each person that signs up with them. So that's going to bring in a revenue stream. Okay. Is there any questions on that?
Yes,
Go ahead.
John, when you and I and Connie were talking with them,
Yeah.
we talked about opening up the
Pages.
the advantage page, the pages to the plans.
Yeah.
To everybody has, because like they pointed out, we're basically holding them hostage now. They have to actually pay to get in to see that.
Yes.
And they thought that was a huge hindrance, and I thought we all agreed.
Yeah, we did agree. And board, just for the rest of the board, what Brian's bringing up is that on our formal website, the benefits page and the sub page is Benestar, which is not totally up to date yet because of what I just said to you, but those are restricted unless you're registered and paid. We had decided that, but Benestar made a good argument and we agreed with them that those pages should be open. It's going to bring us a revenue. Yes, you should ask them to register. Certainly you want them to register, but they have to pay? Because why are you going to cut off your nose to spite your face and not get the revenue? So, and we agreed with it. Does anybody else have an opinion on that? But I agree, Connie agrees, Brian agrees. Anybody else?
Yeah, I agree with that.
And like Brian had said, you know, people will say, oh, what the hell is this stuff? You know, you got to pay for your, you know, we're getting that complaint, as you well know, on other Facebook, GE retiree sites. We're charging people. Well, we don't charge people for our help at all. But we were talking about restricting this to try to get them to register. But we're going to open it up. If everybody's okay with that, we're going to open it up.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I just wish that we would call it donations instead of dues, because it does imply that you have to pay something to be part of it.
Yeah, you're right, Connie. Wherever that is, if you see it, point it out to me and I will change that, whether it's on Facebook or on our formal website. I'll change it to say donations.
Well, when I make a post about giving us some money, I just try to use the word donation.
Okay. I agree with that. When they ask for a minimum amount, you know, there's nothing wrong with suggesting the bronze
Right.
level, $24. There's nothing wrong with suggesting that, but
Right, I do suggest.
okay. All right, so the next thing down is I forwarded you guys an email on the pension plan concerns. If you notice over the past year or so, GE's been doing a lot of freezes, buyouts. They don't like the word de-risking, but they are doing de-risking because they just turned over all those people with pensions under $360 a month over to Athene, a company called Athene, to manage the thing. But they're saying that, you know, that's not de-risking, that's not de-risking. Well, there's a trend developing here, folks. And I say, we got to be cautious. We got to watch them. We got to stay on our toes with this. And as I'm thinking that, and I'm posting articles like I posted the article that's in this bullet item, that they just announced the UK pension plan freezes. I forget how many people, but a good number of people, they're freezing theirs. So I think GE's trying to take little nibbles and bites to see how we're going to react, you see? Because when the next contract comes, maybe they'll say, you know what, we need to de-risk this plan and give it off to an insurance company. Now, the problem with de-risking is if you go under an insurance company, you go by the rules, the mandates, the regulations of the state. You're no longer under PBGC. And that's an important factor, folks. You're no longer under the federal protection. You're under state mandates, and all states could be different. All the states could be different. So we need to watch this. And this guy, Ed Stone, had contacted me. He knew me through another guy named Jack Cohen from the Beltel group. The Beltel group was one of the groups, and we collaborated with another group called Protect Seniors to keep up on all the retiree issues, basically. And I guess Protect Seniors folded, but as I said, Beltel, Jack Cohen gave Ed Stone my name, and he called me. He emailed me, and then he called me. And he's starting a new group called Retirees for Justice. And it's all about pension plans and de-risking and all that. Even though he has an interest in some of the healthcare plans and what they're doing there, his main focus, he's a lawyer out of Connecticut, if you read the email. He has main interest in pension plans. And he's very interested. He said, I'm very interested in what GE's doing. He said, this is the same kind of trend he's seen with other companies. And he's been involved with different groups, representing groups with those companies. So the guy's got a wealth of knowledge. Believe me, he has a wealth of knowledge about all this, more than I do. That's for darn sure. So he'd like to talk to us. Well, we talked about it, me and him come and talk to our board and just showing you some stuff and explaining some stuff to you. And on February, our next meeting is February 11th, Thursday, February 11th. And I also thought, you know, if we ever needed this guy, when needed, not we give him a retainer, but when we need him, he'd be probably be a great corporation attorney for us in any kind of going forward, any kind of issues we have, legal issues of any kind. So that's a possibility. So, and he also asked me with his new board of, they're setting up for Retirees for Justice. He had asked me if I would join that board as the final thing. And I said, sure, I want to stay up on this issue as much as possible. So, and he did add a little perk to it. You will get a salary. And I said, oh, that's nice. I could use that. Okay. But he added that in the end. So, you know, is everybody okay with that? We invite Ed to come on February 11th and talk to us and explain some of this stuff on pension plans. And again, he's doing homework behind the scenes about GE and what GE is doing. And I'm sure he'll have a focus on that for us too. Yes, Bob.
I had a question. Is if this guy's heavy into working on this and they've seen it before, have they won any of the cases they went up against, or have they had any cases? If they did they win them or lose them?
You know, I'm not going to try to fudge this, but he did talk about some of the things he's been involved in. And off the top of my head, Bob, I can't quote it right now, but he will. That's a good question to ask him, because he has been involved with different groups and different legislation and other things and fighting against groups. I think he might have been involved with Beltel, to be honest with you, as one of them, but I'm not going to, don't quote me on that. We'll ask him. Okay?
Yeah. All
right. Any other questions on that? That is a concern, and it's something we got to keep an eye on. You know, they've already done our healthcare. God knows every time we hear the slightest thing about pension liability or anything else, see these different moves, freezes, buyouts, de-risking, you know, to me, they're nibbles, folks. And they're just waiting for the right time to say, well, we're going to throw all these into this, you know. So we got to watch it. Okay.
Didn't the pension freeze for GE take effect January 1st of this year?
For the salary people, right?
Right, yeah.
Yes, for the salary. I didn't put that on there, but in the email, I believe I gave you some documents and other stuff. Before the February 11th meeting, if you guys can review that email and the documents and the links I gave you. Yeah, there's a number of different GE actions that have already taken place, and that's one of them, Brian.
Right, and I've done a little bit of research on that, and it just comes to my attention that the companies that are doing these pension freezes are doing it against strictly salary folk right now.
Yes.
And I'm wondering, I think the big thing on the hourly is that most of us are union sponsored.
Yeah. And remember, our numbers are not like they were in days gone by in the unions, and the CBC is, I think it's like 6,900. Stanley, does that sound like the right number? About 6,900 for all the locals that are involved with the contract negotiations?
I don't think there's that many anymore, John.
Yeah.
If you know, the CBC kind of fell apart the
Yeah.
last contract negotiations. So I don't even think they will get back together. That's just my personal opinion.
Yeah.
But they kind of each union shot each other in the foot. So,
Because I was thinking, one of the things I was thinking about is, folks, is that just what I've collected between Ed and myself, just what I've collected so far, the examples like the one you gave, Brian, other ones from GE, that send it off to like the president of the IUE or other unions that are part of the coordinated bargaining. Because I honestly believe if they can get it past the union negotiations, that's the way they're going to go. That's the way they're going to go. That's my opinion, but hey, I hope I'm wrong, but I'm just saying. So that's why this section that I just went over is very important for us to keep track of, keep our eye on. All right. Next item on the agenda.
Without a
name-
CBC.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
That can't be good without a coordinated bargaining committee. That's just divide and conquer.
Yeah.
You're right.
Which
And
is-
I guarantee you, if they can eliminate the unions and bust them up as far as coordinating all of their benefits together, the salary, that's easy for them. And because if we do well as a unions and pay and benefits are good, they always follow suit with the salary. And boy, they'll really lose out too.
Yep.
And what you're already doing with the salary. Maybe I didn't share this with you guys, but the one that Brian brought up, when I first moved down to Florida, I was over in the condo community, Victoria Condo is called. And a lady came up to me and she said to me, I understand you work with the retirees for GE. I said, yeah. She says, well, what's your opinion on this plan, this freeze and buyouts, actually with buyouts, that part of it. I forget 70,000 or something. I forget, and only 45,000 decided to take it, something like that. Those numbers might be wrong, but I'll get you the information. Anyway, so she says to me, what's your opinion? I said, oh no, you're not going to get me on that. You're not going to hold me responsible for whatever you decide, whether you take a buyout or annuity. You're not going to do it. They were CPAs. This group was a group of CPAs. They know numbers. And they're trying to get my opinion. And I said, no. You go to your financial advisor and ask him. She came back and told me about 50% took it and 50% stayed with the annuity. And I said, oh, that's interesting. You people couldn't even come to a consensus among yourselves. So, okay. I said, wow. So anyway, but that was salary. And God knows what they would offer. They might just say, hey, we're throwing you into an annuity and an insurance company, AIG, Prudential, some company. And good luck. You're under state mandate and good luck. And a lot of those you got to be really careful with. And Ed could explain it better than I can. All right. About how much you lose dollar-wise and everything else. You can explain. Okay. Next thing is name change progress. Any other questions on that? I don't want to skip over, but you see the importance of it, right? And keeping track and keeping our eyes open and getting educated. That's the other thing. Know what we're talking Name change progress. We already did Kansas. We're waiting on IRS. The letter's there. I tried to go on IRS to see if you can, like state of Kansas, we can go in and put our ID number in and you get an update on your status. IRS doesn't let you do that with your EIN. So you got to call them. So I sent the letter. We're waiting for a response, and that's holding us up on the next part of that bullet item. We're trying to change over the bank to our new name, and it looks like we're going to have to set up a new account. GERBS is GE Retiree Benefit Solutions. That's the acronym for it. And the lady says she wants that IRS letter. Well, I can't make IRS go any faster, folks. You don't make IRS go faster, but I will call and see if I can prod them a little. I checked the mailbox this morning even just to see before this meeting. I said, maybe it's in there. No, it's not in there. So that's where the name change. Kansas done. IRS, we're waiting on a letter, and the bank is waiting on the IRS letter before they'll do a switch over. That's where it stands. All right, the important organizational documents. Anything happened to me, everybody should know where these are. I always say Connie's my right arm, but and she has a lot of this, but everybody on the board should know that they're on the officer page. These important, whether it's our liability insurance, our EIN, state of Kansas incorporation, certificates of approval each year that we have to do with different agencies. All that different stuff, folks, is on that page. So if anything happened to me, at least you have it. But here we go again. I try to get on there and update that section, and it's a whole different language than normal WordPress. And so now I got to get a hold of GoDaddy and say, listen, I got new updated documents, whether it's bylaws or articles of corporation, director and officer D&O, they call it director and officer liability or whatever else, EIN, state of Kansas, whatever. I can't change them. And it should be easier than this. So I'm going to talk to them and get that straightened out. One of the things I want us all to think about, and I'm going to show you this, is if we start to move into growth, we really got to look at our board committees. I'm going to show you this in a minute. One of them would be Brian, and I would like to, I'll explain this when I show you the graphic, but I would like people from their committees. You might not have anything to report, but if you have something to report, I shouldn't be the only one talking here, and I shouldn't be the only one that has to handle everything on this board. Different committees should be responsible, like Brian is the trustee and he's the benefits advocate. So I put in here, is there anything you'd like to share, Brian, about issues you've been handling lately? Each committee would do something like that. And you might not have a report. You might not have anything. You understand? If I said to Betsy as communications director, yeah, I put out a newsletter. Yeah, I did. I got the minutes out. Whatever she's done, and it might be that simple, a 2-sentence reply on a committee report.
I can give you a report.
Yes, go ahead, Brian.
Okay, what I have noticed here lately from another retiree site, everything that we seem to have in blocks on our website that's posting information on Medicare, Social Security, the tax forms that are being available, everything we have on ours is now appearing on the other one. Yeah. It's not word for word, but it's close to it. And there's always a remark in there that they will never charge you a fee and it's absolutely free and this and that. I do know that 2 members of our group now are moderators in this other group. So I believe that's where the information is coming from. I wish it wouldn't be that way. There's nothing I can do to prevent it, but it seems like almost daily we do get bad mouth because we apparently charge for everything, which isn't right at all. As far as the benefits go, I've worked on probably 4 or 5 here within the past month or 2 months. And I have closed out all of them as of now. One was an overseas. That was a big pain. And we finally got that rectified. Another one had her spouse passed away and wasn't getting the information that she needed, the forms. We got that rectified and they're very pleased. I did receive a phone call yesterday from a salary from the plant I worked on, Connie and I at Strother. He's going to be going into retirement in October, and he started talking to me and was getting fed all sorts of information wasn't right. So he talked to somebody who gave my name, and I talked to him, was able to get him straightened out, who he needed to contact, and things like this. And I asked him, I said, how did you hear about me? And he said, it's just word of mouth going around here at Strother in particular about the solutions group. So the word is getting out. I don't know exactly how, it just word of mouth appears from around here. But I find that as a positive. And if I can get Nick taken care of the way I'm hoping, because I did ask him to call me back once he'd made his call to pension benefits and to VIA, then I will help him on going to the path that's going to benefit him and his spouse the best. He's confused about the Medicare letter plans and doesn't know anything about the Advantage plans. And I did briefly mention the group benefit that we're going to be offering, and that did pique his interest. So things are going to start to look up, I think.
I think so too. And you're right. You know, a person recently made the claim that they're running 12 different Facebook pages and we don't charge. And the two people that Brian talked about, I won't name their names, but they used to be on our old Rage website, but now they haven't joined our new website and they are moderators. But they do come to our Facebook page and check things out and see what we're posting. So doesn't GE. And bring that information back. And as Brian said, let's just call it what it is. They steal our stuff. Not that we, listen, we would share it with any retiree anyway, but they do steal our stuff and you know, to make themselves look good. Sad. It's sad that it's come to that, to me.
Yep.
You know, it's sad that they're doing that kind of stuff and bad mouthing us. And as Brian said, they're saying we're charging for everything. When anybody deals with Brian, there is no fee. Or deals with anybody on this board, there is no fee. We do ask to cover our expenses. We do ask for that. And you know, those are donations. And like Connie said, we'll get rid of the word dues. Just say donations. But we have a lot to offer.
About that as well, explaining why we ask for donations. So
Yeah,
Yeah,
you did
that worked for a lot of people, and
that was a good post, Ken. That was
Yes,
nice.
it was excellent.
thanks.
So, you know, hey, maybe someday they'll stop that stuff. I don't understand it. We should be working together, to me. I don't know what that means. Does that mean that when we go to kick off Benestar, we're not going to be allowed to post on those other sites? Is that what they're trying to do? I don't know what they're trying to do. But if they do that, then I'm going to get pissed at that point. I mean, they didn't want us to post something. What the hell was it, Connie? Something they didn't want me to post.
The survey that you.
Oh,
wanted
yeah,
to-
the survey. Yeah. No, that person on their site has it taken care of. I said, oh, really? A formal survey? No, I don't think so. All right. So, hey, that's some of the frustrations, you know, when you get disgruntled people and they move away and badmouth us. That's sad. That's sad.
You know, I would like to make a suggestion, and because I'm going to do it myself this afternoon. So years ago, a current employee from GE asked me if I would help him make a union page, well, for our local, And so we did anyways. It had to change over because, yeah, I got a letter from a lawyer from International, whatever. But anyway, so I changed the name on it and everything. So I still monitor it. It's still my page now.
Yeah.
And so it's called Struther 1004 instead of IUE, blah, blah, whatever.
Yeah.
So I'm going to make a post on there about Brian being our benefits advocate, because I know, and you know, Brian, that a lot of our coworkers have families that used to work at GE, they're retirees now. So we can get the word out that way as well. And so what my suggestion is if anyone here is a member of another local, group, Facebook group, you can maybe make a post about that, about
Yeah.
our benefits advocate in our group
Yes,
and our website.
I agree.
Absolutely.
I 100% agree. And, if you're affiliated with any retiree group or retiree chapter and they have a website or have a Facebook page, I need you guys to help us do the marketing. Help us.
I'm
Just
not
like
even talking just about retiree group, John. I'm talking about our local.
Yeah, your local. Yes, I know. Yeah, I understand what you're saying, Ken. Yeah, that's a great idea. Great idea. I have a list on that marketing sheet. If you remember on that marketing sheet that the meeting we had with Benestar of a lot of different groups that I plan to contact once we start marketing. But if you're affiliated with any local group, absolutely. They'll allow you to put a post up or a banner up or an ad up or a comment, whatever, then do it. Let's do it, And when Brian, I'm going to skip over this graphic for just a second, for something that Brian had said about the salary guys dealing with. I'm telling you right now, we are seeing I'm calling an explosion of salaried people joining us from all over the country, many different states. And that's pleasantly pleasing, it's just, it's a good sign. It's a good thing. The word is getting out. So, when Brian said, how'd you hear about us? I know one thing we have is called the SEO, search engine optimization package with GoDaddy. That might be part of it. Word of mouth certainly is part of it. But these people are from all over the country. So they're hearing about us from somewhere. And as much as that other group would like to badmouth us, these people are coming in. They're coming in. And we got, after I did the last post on our Facebook page, we got 5 more registrations. So, marketing, as I've said many times, is the key. And getting those, like Connie just said, going to a local, finding what avenues we need to market. And we have a lot of ideas. So just for instance, on that last bullet item there, the Jeff Enmeld clawback post, that was posted on our news page, but I also put a little blip on the Facebook just to point to the news page. 2,500 people went and looked at that. That is the highest number we ever saw, 2,500. Now, we say we have 2,500 on our Facebook, but we know that we have on a high end, we've had 1,000 active. But here's 2,500 looking at our news page. And that same article on Jeff Enmeld on our Facebook page was 1,500. So we have people that are active on our page out of that 2,500 that signed up on our Facebook page. But are they always making comments or are they always saying like or anything? No, but they are looking. They are looking. That's the point. They are there. So we got to engage them. We got to get them, engaged and get them registered on our formal website and get them hopefully to give us a donation. So I just wanted to mention that to you because that was, I couldn't believe the response on that one post. So if we put a post up there that they say it's about pensions, we put a post up there, you're going to get a lot of people that are going to respond, or at least look if we do that. So, and if it's about any aspect of our organization, our solutions organization, Connie's post got a lot of people. There's times it'll draw them in. So think about that. You guys are all eligible to post on Facebook. Think about that. You can draw them in, draw the interest. Try to get them to go to our formal website and register. Give us a donation. All right, now let me just bring up this last thing and then we can get out of here. Let me go to new share. Okay. All right, there it is right there. All right. This is the proposed new organizational chart. It looks off center because it is off center, because once I added that box to say this was the new proposed, it kind of screwed it. This all gets straightened out to look better, but right now it's a little messed up. All right, so as we grow and as I ask you to share responsibility as a board member, some of us going back now a number of probably years at this point, had defined the committees that we were in charge of. Just a short, this is what our mission is, our goals are of this committee. We need to finish this. We need to really do this. So let me just, this is my proposal. Starting at the left on the bottom for the committees. Survey data collection, that's me. New benefits, me. You see my name under there. Under communications, publicity, media, newsletters, all that stuff that Betsy does, that's her. Next one is benefit advocacy. And of course, Brian does a lot of communications. And the one thing I added here, Brian, is the RX Help Center liaison, which that's what Melody used to do. And I have to get you connected with them. That is an excellent benefit for people that qualify. And it gets us revenue. So I need to talk to you about that, but that's your committee. Outreach, Rodney, I changed, you used to have rallies and events.
Yeah, there's no rallies now.
There's no rally. And outreach is just like, let's say, for instance, if whenever COVID is done, and people invite us to come to their local, to talk to their local, that's what outreach is. Collaborations is like what we're doing with Ed Stone, National Committee on Preservation and Social Security. Social Security works. It's just a matter of posting when they ask us to post something, whether it's a petition or something like that. Those are the collaborations. It gets our name out there. Plus, it gets our people involved in different issues especially with Social Security and Medicare outside our group, not corporate healthcare or corporate pension, but those other two issues that we deal with the retirees, Social Security and Medicare. So that's what I'm talking about when I say collaborations. And I don't know what links you have, if you have links to AARP, Social Security Works, National Committee, but it's very simple and they send you emails and you post them. Boom, that's the collaboration.
Okay.
It's not like a ton of work. I know that you're involved with a lot of organizations, so I'm not looking at that. But outreach is about we're asked to come to a local or a retiree group or I don't even know if they have them anymore. They abolished most of them. Quarter Century, remember Melody and I used to do those. Quarter Century, I know they dissolved the one up in my area, up in the Capital District of New York. They dissolved it. They don't do it anymore. Gee, you don't want to pay for it. But that's what I'm talking about under that committee, Rodney. Membership growth and strategies, that's mine. And the action items, that's mine again. Financial audits, assist the treasurer, and I put this down for Charlie, marketing coordinator, to help out with the marketing, because Charlie knows how to do that stuff. It's just, I just got to get him to tone it down when we're talking. Being polite. So that would be Charlie. Fundraising and PayPal and Stripe, which Connie, she's the treasurer. She keeps track of things just like I keep track of things, as far as how we're doing with our fundraising and making posts and asking people to donate. And between me and her, mainly her, is PayPal and Stripe and keeping track of that. So that's her committee. Bob, I put website again, but what I'm talking about on the website is the chat portal and user approvals, which I have to sit down with you on. It's a little bit different than the old site in that you have to do two things. You have to approve, and then there's another little teeny checkbox on their user profiles that says activate. And if you don't do both, they will never get an email telling them that they've been approved and activated with a new password to get started on our formal website. So that's what I mean by that. Okay, and then if you're feeling comfortable as you go forward, I think you feel like I do, WordPress is difficult to deal with at best. Stanley, bylaws is just, you know, what we just did and went over today is bylaws when there's revisions or anything, you know, to be in charge of that. In the elections, which are only every 3 years, staggered. And you'd be in charge of that, you know, putting the nominations up, having a vote, and then, you know, doing the summary of the vote election. So that would be yours. And as we grow, folks, if we do start to really expand with Benistar and things really start to come together, you may know people yourselves that I don't know that are good in these areas. You could ask them to join one of our committees. There's no reason we can't have other people. Like we were talking for a long time with Benefits Advocate with having an assistant in case something happened with Melody back in the day. But with Brian, that somebody else would at least be like an assistant in training, if you will, to help out. There's nothing wrong with that. We're not taking away your position or your position on the board or your chairmanship. We're just asking for help is what we're doing. You know? I mean, it's going to come a time when each one of you are going to say, John, you know, health reasons, personal reasons, family reasons, whatever, I'm gonna have to resign the board. And we need to have people in place that could take over, you know? So I would, does anybody have an objection with what I put down for each one of you, first of all?
No, I don't have any.
No.
Okay, okay, good, good.
I'm fine.
Good. Very good. Now, again, Rodney, you need any help on links and all that, I'll get them to you. Stanley, you know, whenever I send out anything on bylaws, the election piece is in the bylaws. You haven't got to worry about that till October next year. Hopefully we won't do too many more revisions. You know, but you know how that goes. Anybody else that has any other questions with their committee, I would like it to get it down in writing. I can show you, I can get you, not show you right now, but get you some of the ones that were done and submitted to me. I know I got them on my computer if you want. And again, it's nothing, it's like a paragraph. It's like you write a paragraph about your mission and your goals. You know, so when people say, well, what's your committee about? What's that mean? You have it to give to them. All right. Sound good?
Sounds good.
All right. Very good. So that was the last thing that I wanted to cover with you. And again, if you get a chance with Ed Stone before the next meeting, please look at that email and look at some of his things. He's got some good stuff there. And I also sent you some stuff all about pensions. The summary from 2019. We should have a summary coming out on 2020. Increases, the history of increases over the year. Companies that have dropped it, companies that have froze it or did de-risking. There's a lot of great information there. You should be educated on this issue. This is gonna, I believe this is gonna become an important issue to us. You know, I don't want it to be, but I think it is gonna be. So if you can look at that before February 11th, I'd appreciate it. And then as soon as I get an update from Benestar, I'm gonna harass him now. I will send it out to you guys. Okay? All right, so anybody else got any business that they need to bring up?
Are you gonna go ahead and unblock the
No,
plans?
but can you and Brian stay on for a little bit and I'll tell you the phone call I got from Via about my letter I sent to you.
Sure. Yeah, we'll stay on, but what, Brian, you, what were you just asking?
If you were gonna take the block to the plans
Yes.
off.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Yes, I'll try to get that done today. I'll try.
Good.
I got a couple things I got to deal with them on, and that's one of them. Last time I called in on Martin Luther King Day and they said, nobody's available. I said, oh, that's wonderful.
If anybody else wants to stay on my conversation about the issue I had with Via, you're more than welcome to. I just didn't want to keep anybody on here if they don't want to stay on for that.
Yeah, and I could bring up Connie's email there. She had issues with Via and the way she was treated and over what the topic is. But we'll adjourn our meeting here, and then anybody wants to stay, they can stay if they want to hear that information. We did set up a meeting with GE and Via. Connie says she's got some kind of response, but Dean sent me back an email today saying that Beth is out of town or on vacation or something. And we are going to still have that meeting with them because I don't like the way Connie was treated. And if that's the way they're going to treat retirees, I'm going to give them hell, you know? And Connie won't hold back giving them hell either, believe me. Or
Oh,
Brian.
no, it's not.
So-
Sounds like Via's playing the same old game they did before they changed their name then.
Exactly, exactly. You know, Rodney, I'm glad you said that because you know what? When we went to the fall meeting, Brian, Connie, they give us their survey results again. 85% of people are satisfied. You must be talking to different people than I am because we get a lot of complaints about drop calls, long waits, different answers from different people. I said, where do you get this 85%? You know, it was like back when we were fighting the lawsuits. Where are you people getting that shit? Our surveys say about 50% are satisfied, if that. You know?
You know, Rodney, it's funny that, again, that you would say that because I used to always tell, way back, I used to tell everybody, you know, when I first hired at GE, the person I worked for was called a boss. Then he was called a supervisor, then a facilitator, then a team leader. Names just keep changing, but I always said,
Yeah,
an
it's always
asshole
the
by the end
same.
of the name is still just an asshole.
Yeah, every time they, it seems like some of these benefit companies get under pressure, they just flip and change their name.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I've researched some of their histories, and the people that actually work for them, they treat them a lot worse than they treat our retirees.
Oh, yeah.
So
The turnover is
feel-
phenomenal. And can you imagine at open enrollment, Rodney? You know, they hire 100, 200 people and they ain't got a freaking clue what the hell they're telling you. They ain't got a clue.
And that's the problem we run into.
It's unbelievable. All right, so let's adjourn this. And anybody wants to stay on I'll bring up Connie's email. So anybody wants to stay on, they can. So can I have a motion to adjourn, please?
Motion to adjourn.
A
right.
second.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Let me now stop the recording. And around.
All righty then.
Oh, wait a minute, wait. I got to pause this thing.